quarter. You ever walked the street, headed to the store, headed to school, and you saw a quarter and you picked it up? Sure, you're excited about it. I know I've been before. It's bright, has great value, has great worth. We know we can take it and we can spend it. But what about when you see a penny or some pennies? Now, pennies elicit a different response, a different reaction from us. We may step over them, may throw it out the way. We're not that moved by it. We assign a different value or different worth to a quarter and a penny. But as you see, 25 pennies has the same value and worth as one quarter. Yeah, they look different. Yeah, their color is different. But they have the same value and worth. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, we see God creating man and woman in his image and likeness. And so we understand that all men and women have the same value and worth. Why? Because we're all made in God's image. But then we also see in Genesis chapter 3 that sin enters into the world. Adam and Eve plunge all humanity into death. And from there, we begin to assign different value and worth to men and women. And so we treat different ethnicities in a different manner. We treat those who have more money and those who have less money in a different manner. I think about the times when I would see the poor standing on a freeway entrance, and they would hold up a sign and ask for money, or someone would come up to me and ask for a couple of dollars so that they could eat. And I would treat them differently than, say, a friend who would come to me, someone who has the same education as me, someone who makes as much money as me, and then I would be more willing to help them out. But the beauty of the gospel is this, is that it reveals to us is that in Christ, because of the love of Christ on the cross and the resurrection, that all men and women will be redeemed through Christ. That regardless of how much money we make, regardless of what we look like on the outside, regardless of our language, that God redeems men and women. And so we find in James, the writer of James writes that we're not supposed to show any partiality to men and women, but we're to love them with the love of God, the love of Christ. And so in this upcoming year, I would encourage you that have a lot, those of you that are considered quarters in our world, that you would look at the pennies of our world, the poor, and see that they have the same value and worth as you do. And I would encourage those of you that may not have as much to look at the quarters of the world and see that they too have the same value and worth as you. And at the end of the day, we all remember that we're all made in the image and likeness of God, and that through Christ, He has shown and shared and given that grace to His creation. Take care. God bless.